Hi there, and welcome to this month's Coffee Talk with Nico. We're going to be talking about reassessing your business life and personal life. Sounds like a lot we're going to go over, but we're really going to talk about some organization and some rethinking of our priorities. So, in times of change or crisis, many of us make the mistake of keeping the priorities the same, which sometimes work and doesn't work sometimes. However, if the world and business and your life have changed, shouldn't those priorities? So, whoops, sorry about that. So, the topic of this discussion today is about the importance of setting priorities, but also reassessing them. So, I want to thank you for joining us today, and let's get started. So my name is Nico Fisher, and I am not co-owner, I own Skywriting by Nico. I'm the lead project manager, and I love my job. I am a co-organizer for the Maui Business Brainstormers. I'm a score mentor for the Hawaii chapter. I'm a co-founder of Maui Social Media School. I'm on the board of the Maui Native Hawaiian Chamber of Commerce and Grants Central Station, brand new. So with our beautiful Lahaina, our family and friends going through so much, I started the first 2 weeks after the fires volunteering everywhere, trying to figure out how I can help, how I can just get some of this energy going to help people and get it off of my, I don't know if it's conscience or what, but it took me at least a couple of weeks to kind of breathe. In doing so, I left a hole there, not explaining to my customers what I was going through or that I was still working, and how our business could continue and stay on track. So kind of missed the boat for like a month. And so knowing that my track has changed, I needed to inform my customers and my team that I'm okay and I'm going to continue the pace I was going at before, and was able to kind of um, rework, readjust what I was doing. So when was the last time you reassessed your priorities? Me personally, I believe it was at COVID, because we all had to change everything. Instead of meeting people, we were on Zoom. Instead of doing classes, we were on Zoom. I mean, everything was done from our little cubby holes in our houses or our offices. And so, yeah, I had to change my priorities big time. We all have, I think, for that. And with what we're dealing with now, we have to do that as well. Not the full island of Maui is dealing with um, uh, not having a home and not having a job and not having a lot of those things. But several of us who live on the island in different parts of the island are trying to regroup and trying to reassess what it is we need to do. So when things change, it's important to be flexible and revisit priorities. You need to talk to your team, your customers about goals and tasks, and being honest. If there's too much on your plate and you need help, talking to others can help you better prioritize the tasks. And so that's something that you'll need to do. I needed to do that. One of my clients had decided not to do shows anymore on the West Side. And so that's part of my business. And so I had a cubby hole there that I was able to fill. And so that's why I got on the board of Grant Central Stations, because I was able to help funnel funds to where they need to be. And I thought that would be a good place for me. Lo and behold, my client came back and said, "Oh, by the way, we're doing shows again." And I'm like, "Oh," so everything that I reassessed, I had to reassess again. So the first thing I did is I talked to my assistant and we walked through all of the changes and things. And so I was able to take some tasks on my own, give her some set tasks to do, and was able to prioritize just by talking it through. And so that's what I think you might be able to do with your business. So you may have the capacity to take on one extra task, but what happens when 3 more people come to you with important tasks to heap onto your plate? Something has to give, but first you need to recognize the difference between what's important versus what's urgent. So in doing so, I found a system that worked for me, and I'm going to share it with you. First, what you can do is, if there's too much on your plate and you're stressed, Nothing seems to get done if that's the case. The first thing to do is to step back and reassess the situation. The next step is to talk. Talk to your colleagues, talk to a mentor or your family or friends. Once you talk it through with them, you get a second pair of eyes to help you reevaluate the situation, just like I did with my assistant. With help, you can reassess priorities more effectively. And so what I found in my research was the Eisenhower matrix. So this actually helped me out a lot, because with so many things swirling in your head, and some of it tragic, some of it I got a lot of stuff to do and my head won't work right now. You need to organize, completely organize, prioritizing your tasks by urgency and importance. So the first thing is do first. First, you need to do the important things. Anything with a date within the next couple of weeks, you need to have on your do first list. Second is important but less urgent. Maybe the time frame is a little beyond the next couple of weeks. You can schedule those. The next is less important but urgent. You can delegate. You can have someone else handle those situations. And then finally, the less important and less urgent, don't do it at all. If something is working out, the time frame is October or November, take it off your plate for right now. Just don't even think about doing that. If you're feeling overwhelmed and are struggling to prioritize, this Eisenhower matrix is a simple yet effective way to break everything down. So I'm going to go just a little bit further. And on those important and urgent do first, these tasks are the ones to do first. You can't put them off. If something is due today, tomorrow, the next day, next week, those are the things that you need to make sure are on your list. The less important but urgent tasks, these might be urgent but can be delegated. Look at them as urgent but not necessarily for you, for someone else, which is really nice if you have that set up. If you don't, you'll need to figure out what would be the best course for you. If you can't delegate, at least you can prioritize them on your list. The third is important and less urgent. You can schedule those tasks. Do them on a different date. Schedule these tasks for a later date while you work on to-do tasks first. So knowing that they're scheduled, it's going to give you a peace of mind knowing that you have it under control. You can handle them next week or the next week. And the final one is less important and less urgent. Don't do it at all. Again, if it's October, November, December, take it off your plate for now until you're feeling less overwhelmed. If you're struggling, using this Eisenhower matrix is simple and can be very helpful. And it was helpful for me because everything in my head just went, wow. I mean, just went crazy. So the benefits of reassessing your priorities, taking some time to really assess your priorities and plan for the future has several benefits. First of all, you'll feel better prepared to work on your goals because if you have a clearer idea of what to do first. And secondly, you can start to take a lot of tasks off your plate that are currently just taking up your headspace. That's what I was talking about, is getting them out of your brain. Knowing that they're on a schedule is going to allow you some extra room to focus and get the things done there that are most important. If you spend some time talking through it all with others, you'll also benefit from someone else's advice and assistance. I have a friend that I talk to a lot who does what I do. And whenever I'm kind of, new platforms, AI, what are you doing with that? How is that working for you? I have someone who does exactly what I do that we could actually share ideas and, give some tips to each other. This is how I navigated that. So you might look at somebody in your circle that does what you do and really talk about clients, really talk about the new things that are coming up, and you can get some good clarity of, professionals who are doing what you do is going to make your life a lot easier. I'm really thankful that I have that. Her name is Danielle, and I just adore her. She owns Miller Media Management, and she is one person that I always trust and I always go to if I have a question. And she used for different ages, so she uses my brain power to kind of assess the situation. So I love having her available to me, and it means a lot. So when you do go through changes, and I'll give you the change right now, people on the mainland are thinking, oh God, Maui is having such a hard time. I'm not going to give her business. I'll go elsewhere. No, no, no. We need to make sure that we have stability in our workplace. Our customers have four basic needs in order to feel secure and engaged with you. They need to trust that you can get the job done. They need stability, knowing that you are going to be here tomorrow and the next day and the next day. They need compassion, understanding what their situation is, and hope. Why stability matters so much, and use these tips to build stability and amid uncertainty. Leaders who can assess these needs will be able to navigate change with clarity and purpose while keeping their employees and customers engaged. Learn why stability matters so much and use these tips to build stability amid uncertainty. You need to provide resources to succeed. You need to communicate honestly. You need to share a plan of action, check in often, and lead with optimism. So I'm going to go through those steps with you so you can see what I mean by that, why stability matters. Psychological capital is characterized by having confidence to accomplish the challenging tasks, optimism for succeeding now and in the near future, and perseverance to work towards goals and adapt goals as needed, resilience to bounce back from setbacks and continue moving forward. If there's one thing as humans that we can do is bounce back and move forward. But first, we might need to reassess what we have going on. So let's go through the first one, provide resources to succeed. So this is really important. The one thing that I've been able to do for the whole month of August and September thus far is I've been able to share resources. So whenever I see anything that can help somebody in small business, somebody personally, even unemployment or housing or whatever, I'm trying to share as many resources as possible with people. And I make sure also to connect with people. So make sure your employees and customers have the tools, technology, and resources they need to do their job. Taking care of customers online. So that's where a lot of us are right now, is online, because we can't be in person. This one might seem like a no-brainer, but in the midst of change, the resources customers, employees may need may also evolve. So you need to make sure that they have a safe space to go to connect with you. And I think that's really, really, really important. One is communicate honestly. So trust is built on honest communication and personal relationships. Focus on these behaviors to build trust and safety for your team. Be present and transparent. Keep customers informed by checking in with them regularly. So the challenges that you have are what are the challenges your company's facing? What are the risks you're dealing with? And what is the plan to address and mitigate those risks? So if you're on the west side, you might be open, but a good portion of Lahaina is closed. So how are you going to manage getting people to know that you are open and that you are on? So you need to create context, contextualize the issues so your customers understand what led to the current environment and what made you certain and why you made certain decisions for your workflow, either online or in person. If the company is going through a huge change, explain why if they don't already know. Your customers need to know what's happening. And there might be a little bit of looky-loo in there, but they adore you, and that's why they do business with you. So they want to know that you're okay and that you're still able to assist them. Share your plan of action. Change or disrupt often creates anxiety and uncertainty about the future. For instance, if someone knows that you are going through a whole lot of stuff and they have a big presentation to do, and your business is a part of that presentation, they need to know that you have a plan. If you don't have a plan, they're not going to have confidence in working with you. You need to combat that anxiety and create stability for your teams, for your customers, by sharing a plan of action and following through on those commitments. So it's really important. You really, really need to understand that stability, having a plan of action, is important. And this one, this is what I do at least 3 times a week. It's not enough to have one all hands meeting, everybody on deck and ready, then go back to business as usual. You need to be checking in with your customers, checking in with your employees, checking in with your partners often so they know what you are doing and what their evolving needs might be. So instead of thinking business is as usual, some of your clients might have gone through the fires and might not have any access to you. So you need to figure out how to connect with them, even if it's by text. Don't limit your interactions and check-ins to formal, one-on-one meetings. Use email, chat, or a quick interaction to see how your employees or customers are coping. So I have a few people that live in Kahului, but they have property in Lahaina when they lost everything. I keep checking in. Oh, I need to check in with her. I forgot all about her. I will text them and say, I'm thinking about you. If you need anything, let me know. I'm just trying to be an anchor for anybody who might need something extra. And those regular check-ins can help you put your finger on the pulse and be aware of the needs and reactions to those customers. It's especially important for gauging their emotional well-being, and they're going to know you care. So that's really important. And I love the check-in often because we all need to do that. That's essential. And then the last one is leading with optimism. So one of the things, my husband and I used to sell real estate, and the one thing that he always said when anybody asked him how the market is doing, he would say, fantastic. And it's the perception that they have right away. Fantastic. So I have a situation. Can you help me? You just opened a door by saying, you know what, things are good. I'm getting myself under control. I'm getting my feet underneath me finally, and I could walk again. Hope and optimism are part of your customers and employees' psychological capital and have a significant impact on engagement and performance. Uncertainty and change can become breeding grounds for pessimism and demotivation. So if it is important, it's important for leaders like us to foster hope through example. And that's something that you're going to need to do. We as leaders need to stand up and help out. While it's important to be honest, you can still inspire hope and positivity among your customers by leading with optimism. Highlight the constants that remain in your organization, operation, or business. When things are changing, emphasizing what hasn't changed can help your situation in a more positive and balanced lens. Right now, some of your priorities might be just moving your business online. And if that's the case, you just go at it and you're online business now until you get the opportunity to do whatever you had been doing before. So it's kind of like COVID in that most of the clients went online because they had to. With the situation here on Maui, some people, that's all they have. And so one of the places that I want you to know about, if you live here and you need help, I want to talk to you about the Maui American Job Center. You can go mauiajc.com. And if you need any kind of assistance, whether it is help with unemployment, help with PUA or DUA is what it's called now, help with your resume, help trying to figure out where you want to go next, they can help you out. The other place that can help you out is the Small Business Development Center in Kihei. Wayne Wong heads that. And if you are trying to figure out how you can bring your business online at this point in time, he can really help you figure that out. Share why you're hopeful for the future. When outlining your plan of action or a new goal, explain why you are confident that your team can succeed and achieve those goals. So we need to know that you have it under control. If you don't have it under control yet, that's okay. You can still have a presence on Facebook or Instagram or X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. But it's important that you stay connected with your clients. You can even do a newsletter. You can do a newsletter on MailChimp or Constant Contact. MailChimp is free. just connect with your clients. That's going to help out a lot. So Q&A, we don't have much Q&A this morning because I'm recording this without a group that I had on earlier today because my internet went down. So I don't have any Q&A for you today. If you have questions, though, you can connect with me and I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. So our next coffee talk is going to be storytelling and marketing. So we have changed the day of the month for our coffee talks. You saw that it's the third Friday of the month. And so our next one is going to be on October 20th. Storytelling is the best marketing. You can storytell about your products, your services, and you. So make sure that you join us for our next coffee talk on October 20th. So this is how you can connect with me. You can go to mauismarketingcompany.com. You can email me at Nico at Skywriting by Nico. You can find me on social, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. YouTube is where, actually on my website now, Maui's Marketing Company, you'll find all of the coffee talks on there. So, but I put them on YouTube first. So you can check any of them out that I've done. This is, I think, my 16th or 17th one. So anyway, I want to thank you for being here today. And I want to thank you for understanding that you do have choices. And because of those choices, you do need to have good conversation, good line of communication with your employees and with your customers, because they need to know that you are able and willing to do business right now, but you need to set the pace. So anyway, with that, I will finish this, and I want to thank you again for being with us. I appreciate it, and I am thankful to be here with you. So thank you so much. So long.